Courtrooms are meant to be places of order, justice, and respect for the rule of law. However, they can sometimes become scenes of chaos and violence, especially when defendants with a history of disruptive behavior and violent crimes are involved. In this video, we're diving into the shocking stories of 7 convicts whose outrageous behavior in the courtroom left everyone speechless. From violent outbursts to jaw-dropping disrespect, these individuals showed a complete disregard for the law and justice. Sean Riker, a convicted felon, faced a pre-sentencing hearing in a Wisconsin court for his numerous violent crimes. Riker had a disturbing history of committing crimes against his family, including sexual assault, physical abuse of a child, and reckless endangerment. Prior to these charges, he served 12 years in federal prison for detonating pipe bombs in Utah. During the trial, Riker, who was shackled and wearing a spit mask due to his history of escape attempts and uncooperative behavior, showed complete disdain for the proceedings. His aggressive and disrespectful behavior was evident as he launched a vicious tirade against Judge Wayne Merrick, threatening the judge's life and showing no remorse for his actions. Following his outburst, Riker was removed from the courtroom and did not appear at his sentencing.
Idea, Merrick? Huh? You got me looking like a clown? Stupid Paul. Merrick.
Despite his absence, the court sentenced him to 200 years in prison. Riker later appealed the sentence, but his appeal was unsuccessful. This case highlighted the severity of his crimes and the importance of maintaining order and safety in the courtroom, even when dealing with dangerous and disruptive defendants. Sidney Newsom appeared before Southern District Judge Aubrey Rimes in Pike County Justice Court, Mississippi, on a domestic violence charge. Initially calm, Newsom became agitated when a transport officer tapped the table as his family entered the courtroom. After a brief interaction, Newsom argued with the judge, leading to his removal. He then erupted, throwing papers at the judge, hurling a telephone, and knocking over a computer monitor. The scene quickly descended into chaos, with court clerks rushing away and his mother screaming while the lone transport officer struggled to control him. Judge Rimes and other officials eventually regained control, and Newsom's brother, who intervened, was not charged. Newsom faced an additional charge of contempt of court and served 48 hours in jail. This incident underscored the volatility of courtroom proceedings when emotions run high, and the challenges faced by court officials in maintaining decorum and order. Antonio Rosales, accused of abducting and assaulting a 10-year-old girl, faced a Sanford, Florida court during closing arguments. Assistant State Attorney Anna Valentini's remarks upset Rosales, who became disruptive, causing chaos in the courtroom. Officers immediately restrained him as Judge Deborah Nelson attempted to manage the situation. Despite the disturbance, the trial continued, and Rosales was sentenced to 3 life sentences. His violent behavior in court mirrored his criminal actions, showing a complete lack of remorse. The courtroom disturbance emphasized the severity of Rosales' offenses and the need for strict security measures. The court's swift response to his outburst demonstrated the importance of maintaining control and ensuring justice is served, even when faced with highly volatile defendants. Rosales' case serves as a stark reminder of the dangers posed by individuals with a history of violent behavior. Nicholas Tuinstra faced court for the murders of his estranged wife, Melissa Tuinstra, and her boyfriend, Justin Daniels. Despite overwhelming evidence against him, Tuinstra showed no remorse and continuously interrupted the court proceedings. He angrily responded to prosecutor Andrew Christensen's statements, prompting the judge to call for a recess. Upon returning, Tuinstra offered a brief apology, citing his daughter's sensitivity as the reason for his outburst, but it did little to mitigate the impact of his earlier behavior. Tuinstra was sentenced to 2 life terms without parole, yet he was allowed supervised visits with his daughter from prison. His courtroom antics highlighted his continued defiance and lack of accountability. The case was emotionally charged, with impact statements from Melissa's family underscoring the devastating effects of Tuinstra's actions. Despite his claims of innocence, the evidence in his courtroom behavior painted a clear picture of guilt and manipulation. Daleroy Greenman appeared in an Orange County courthouse in Orlando, Florida, for a bond hearing after being charged with theft. Accused of stealing from a 7-Eleven, Greenman became increasingly disruptive during the hearing. Judge Carly Wish addressed him directly, but Greenman's responses escalated the situation.
That's horse. You do whatever the you want.
Excuse me?
My name is Mr. Greenman. I'm the federal witness of the United States federal government. I demand some respect, you. Let's get a jam round along, y'all.
His bond was initially set at $250, but due to his out-of-state criminal history, no plea offer was presented, resulting in his bond being set at $11,000. Greenman's failure to appear at the pretrial hearing led to a warrant for his arrest, highlighting the complexities of dealing with repeat offenders. His disruptive behavior and criminal history underscored the challenges faced by the judicial system in maintaining order and ensuring justice. Greenman's case serves as an example of how prior criminal activity can complicate court proceedings and sentencing. Bryce Rhodes, indicted for multiple murders, including those of Larry Ordway and Maurice Gordon, was known for his unpredictable and violent behavior. During his trial in Jefferson District Court, Louisville, Kentucky, Rhodes was restrained and wore a spit mask. He repeatedly disrupted the proceedings, threatening the judge and displaying aggressive behavior. These disruptions led to additional charges of terroristic threatening and intimidating a participant in the legal process. Despite his lawyer's arguments for mental incompetence, a judge ruled that Rhodes was competent to stand trial, setting a trial date for December 11, 2023. Rhodes's actions in court underscored the challenges of dealing with dangerous defendants and the importance of maintaining courtroom security. His case exemplifies the extreme measures sometimes necessary to uphold justice in the face of violent behavior. Tobias Roman, facing charges including attempted robbery and threatening with intent to terrorize, displayed highly disruptive behavior during his trial in Bakersfield, California. Known by the street name Giggles, Roman refused to cooperate, responding with street names and interrupting proceedings. Judge Charles B. warned Roman multiple times, but his behavior continued to escalate, leading to his removal from the courtroom. Before being escorted out, Roman threatened the judge, which was noted for the record. He later pled no contest to threatening a public official and was sentenced to 8 months in prison. Roman's courtroom behavior reflected a blatant disregard for the legal process and authority. His actions highlighted the difficulties judges and court officials face when dealing with uncooperative and aggressive defendants. The courtroom remains a battleground where the principles of justice and order are tested by the behaviors of those who defy them. The resilience of judges, court officers, and all those involved in the legal process ensures that, despite the chaos caused by disruptive defendants, the scales of justice continue to balance in favor of law and order. These cases underscore the serious consequences faced by individuals who disrupt courtroom proceedings and disrespect the law. The severe sentences handed down demonstrate that the justice system does not tolerate such behavior. If these stories of courtroom chaos and justice captivated you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more insightful and detailed explorations of true crime and justice.